Republic Act 9266, an act for providing for a more responsive and comprehensive regulation for the registration, licensing, and practice of architecture, repealing for the purpose Republic Act No. 545 as amended, otherwise known as an act to regulate the practice of architecture in the Philippines, and for other purposes. Article 1, General Provisions, Section 1. This act shall be known as the Architecture Act of 2004. Section 2, Statement of Policy. The state recognizes the importance of architects in nation building and development. Hence, it shall develop and nurture competent, virtuous, productive, and well-rounded professional architects whose standards of practice and service shall be excellent, qualitative, world-class, and globally competitive through inviolable, honest, effective, and credible licensure examinations, and through regulatory measures, programs, and activities that foster their professional growth and development. Section 3, Definition of Terms. As used in this Act, the following terms shall be defined as follows. 1. Architecture is the art, science, or profession of planning, designing, and constructing buildings in their totality, taking into account their environment in accordance with the principles of utility, strength, and beauty. 2. Architect means a person professionally and academically qualified, registered, and licensed under this Act with a certificate of registration and professional identification card issued by the Professional Regulatory Board of Architecture and the Professional Regulation Commission, and who is responsible for advocating the fair and sustainable development, welfare, and cultural expression of society's habitat in terms of space, forms, and historical context. A. Architect of record means the architect registered and licensed under this Act who is directly and professionally responsible for the total design of the project for the client and who shall assume the civil liability for the plans, specifications, and contract documents he or she has signed and sealed. B. Architect in charge of construction means the architect registered and licensed under this Act who is directly and professionally responsible and liable for the construction supervision of the project. C. Consulting architect means the architect registered and licensed or permitted to practice under this Act who is professionally and academically qualified and with exceptional or recognized expertise or specialization in any branch of architecture. 3. General practice of architecture means the act of planning and architectural designing, structural conceptualization, specifying, supervising, and giving general administration and responsible direction to the erection, enlargement, or alterations of buildings and building environments, and architectural designs in engineering structures, or any part thereof, the scientific, aesthetic, and orderly coordination of all the processes which enter into the production of a complete building or structure performed through a medium of unbiased preliminary studies of plans, consultations, specifications, conferences, evaluations, investigations, contract documents, and oral advice and directions, regardless of whether the persons engaged in such practice are resident of the Philippines or have their principal office or place of business in this country or another territory, and regardless of whether such persons are performing one or all these duties, or whether such duties are performed in person or as the directing head of an office or organization performing them. 4. Scope of the practice of architecture encompasses the provision of professional services in connection with site, physical and planning and design, construction, enlargement, conservation, renovation, remodeling, restoration, or alteration of a building or group of buildings. Services may include but are not limited to A. Planning, architectural designing, and structural conceptualization. B. Consultation, consultancy, giving oral or written advice and directions, conferences, evaluations, investigations, quality surveys, appraisals and adjustments, architectural and operational planning, site analysis, and other pre-designed services. C. Schematic design, design development, contract documents, and construction phases, including professional consultancies. D. Preparation of preliminary, technical, economic, and financial feasibility studies of plans, models, and project promotional services. E. Preparation of architectural plans, specifications, bill of materials, cost estimates, general condition, and bidding documents. F. Construction and project management, giving general management, administration, supervision, coordination, and responsible direction or the planning, architectural designing, construction, reconstruction, erection, enlargement or demolition, renovation, repair, orderly removal, remodeling, alteration, preservation or restoration of buildings or structures or complex buildings, including all their components, sites, and environs, intended for private or public use. G. The planning, architectural layouting, and utilization of spaces within and surroundings such buildings or structures, housing design and community architecture, architectural interiors and space planning, architectural detailing, architectural lighting, acoustics, architectural layouting of mechanical, electrical, electronic, sanitary plumbing, communications, and other utility systems, equipment, and fixtures. H. Building programming, building administration, construction arbitration, and architectural conservation and restoration. I. All works which relate to the scientific, aesthetic, and orderly coordination of all works and branches of the work, systems, and processes necessary for the production of a complete building or structure, whether for public or private use, in order to enhance and safeguard life, health, and property, and the promotion and enrichment of the quality of life, the architectural design of engineering structures or any part thereof, and J. All other works, projects, and activities which require the professional competence of an architect, including teaching of architectural subjects and architectural computer-aided design. 5. Structural conceptualization means the act of conceiving, choosing, and developing the type, disposition, arrangement, and proportioning of the structural elements of an architectural work, giving due consideration to safety, cost-effectiveness, functionality, and aesthetics. 6. Architectural firm means a sole proprietorship, a partnership, or a corporation registered with a proper government agency. 7. Authorship refers to the author or authors of a set of architectural plans or specifications who are in charge of their preparation, whether made by them personally or under their immediate supervision. 8. Board refers to the Professional Regulatory Board of Architecture. Commission means the Professional Regulation Commission. 10. Service Agreement means a duly notarized written contract or equivalent public instrument stipulating the scope of services and guaranteeing compensation of such services to be rendered by an architect registered and licensed under this Act. 11. Integrated and accredited professional organization means the existing official national organization of all architects in the Philippines in which all registered Filipino architects shall be members without prejudice to member in other voluntary professional associations. 12. Continuing professional development refers to a sustaining and progressive learning process that maintains, enhances, or increases the knowledge and continuing ability of architects. 13. DTI shall mean the Department of Trade and Industry, and 14. SEC shall mean the Securities and Exchange Commission.